What's good, everyone? This your main correspondent, Alan Taylor, and I'm back in the broadcast room yet again, always with another one. And yes, indeed, it is another one. So, yes, we're going to keep our eye on the ball as well. But also, too, shout out to the people that are going through these storms here lately. Mad love to everybody. Hopefully, they are going to survive and do the right thing. So, yes, but we're going back to the migrant and the immigrant situation and things like that with this. So apparently there are going to be raids on Tren De Aragua down there in Texas, and also they're also robbing people at gunpoint out there and things like that. It's good. It's wild out here. So I got a couple of them for you guys right now, and we're going to dive off into it. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
20 individuals, including 4 confirmed members of the Venezuelan gang Tren De Aragua, were arrested during a multi-agency raid this weekend in San Antonio, Texas. The operation, dubbed Operation Aurora, involved over 150 officers from various agencies, including the San Antonio Police Department, Texas Department of Public Safety, FBI, Homeland Security, and U.S. Border Patrol.
Now, if you notice, what she say, Operation Aurora. So they named it after the town in Colorado. They named the operation after the town in Colorado. Operation Aurora. Okay, let's keep going.
The raid was prompted by reports of human trafficking, narcotics violations, and threats to apartment staff at the Palacia Apartments complex on San Antonio's north side. Law enforcement cleared nearly 300 vacant apartments suspected of being used by gang members. The Tren De Aragua gang, originating from Venezuela's Aragua state, has reportedly infiltrated the United States, blending with undocumented migrants and expanding its criminal activities to include prostitution, drug trafficking, and violent crimes.
So basically, they trying to do some mafia shit. I mean, that's what the mafia our homegrown mafia, that's what used to have the Italian mafia, black mafia, all, each culture in this country has had its own mafia to a degree in this country and things like that. So yeah, they're doing the normal, regular, routine crimes and stuff like that. But the only problem is that these individuals are coming over here from other places, also bringing their diseases and every damn thing else with them.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
I know you don't like that. Well, damn, Alan. What do you mean? Yeah, bringing their diseases and every damn thing else with them. You know, who knows what they have down there in Venezuela? I don't give a damn. Yeah, I said it.
The operation against Tren De Aragua is part of a broader effort to disrupt the gang's influence in Texas, with authorities forming specialized units to address the evolving landscape of international gang activity. Last month, Texas Governor Greg Abbott designated Tren De Aragua a foreign terrorist organization.
Also, I directed the DPS to create a new TDA strike team made of highway patrol officers, DPS special agents, Texas Rangers, SWAT teams, including aircraft, helicopters, and drones, K-9 teams, and intelligence units. These strike teams will collaborate with Texas Anti-Gang Center law enforcement officers to surge resources to areas where known or suspected TDA activity is taking place.
Abbott also announced Texas will allocate over $100 million to support the Texas Anti-Gang Centers over the next 2 years. For Straight Arrow News, I'm Lauren Taylor.
All right. Shout out to that. As you can clearly see, Governor Wheelchair out there ain't playing with you idiots out there. They ain't playing with him. He ain't playing. He ain't got time. He said he want this trash out of his state. Coming over here, bringing all types of stuff with them. You know, who knows what it is. Yeah, it's ridiculous out here. All right, let's keep going. Quarters, nickels, and dimes, people.
Texas police are reporting a surge in gang violence by illegal immigrants across the state. Dallas police charged 4 illegals with robbing a woman at gunpoint during a home invasion. San Antonio police arrested 20 people on drugs and human trafficking charges at an apartment complex. And some are confirmed members of the brutal gang, the Venezuelan gang, Tren De Aragua, TDA, as they're known. Vice President Kamala Harris has flip-flopped on the White House's border policies, which allowed millions to come into this country illegally. Now she's promising hundreds of millions for Trump's border wall she once called a waste of money. Well, you know.
Wow. So she once called the border wall a waste of money. Now we're seeing. Now we're seeing. It's amazing to me how now they're trying to clear everything up. Now that she's the front runner and stuff like that, they're trying to clear everything up after they had the borders open for these past 3 years. Now it's come to all this crap is hitting the fan here, you know, and we're seeing the damage that has been done that, you know, allow a whole new gang membership into our country, the Tren De Aragua, and, you know, they're causing havoc and mayhem. We already have enough issues dealing with our own natural homegrown citizens that do crime. We don't need to be allowing outsiders to come in and just create this whole new this new little mafia or whatever they're trying to do and things like that. This is crazy right here. Let's see. Call the border wall a complete waste of taxpayers' money. Yeah. Now it's not though. Now it's not. Okay. Pledge hundreds of millions. Let's see. Yeah. Pledge hundreds of millions of dollars on the border wall. Let's see. Called for. Oh man. Yeah. Sorry. Bad reading over here. Yeah, but it is what it is, though. See, call for stronger security. This is 2024. Calling for stronger border security. Yeah, I bet you are. Jesus Christ, man. Now you want to call for stronger border security. This don't make any sense here. This don't make any sense. Yeah, but y'all see it, though. It's right here on the screen. What was she saying in 2020, 2019, and things like that versus 2024? You know what I'm saying? Let's see, campaign has backed away from that position, basically. Okay. Now that you backed away from that position, so what does this mean? What are you trying to do? Now you're trying to implement things that Trump has already said that he wanted to do, as far as, you know, making sure that we have the border wall up and stable. But the problem is also, like I've also stated in other broadcasts and things like that, that they're actually flying them in now. So yeah, now they're just trying to make it look good. Well, okay, yeah, we support, you know, locking down the border now. Oh, yeah, of course you would support locking down the border now that you have a subpar legal way to sneak these bastards in.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
Yeah, now that you've made a strategical program where they can come over here for, you know, 2 years, but they have to either renew their programship and things like that, or they have to leave. Like, who's really going to leave after they've been here for 2 years? So yeah, okay, I guess.
She came from a state in California that benefited from a structure on the border. It's like she's got her memory back, or not. She wanted to decriminalize illegal crossings and has walked that back now. Her campaign has backed off her previous calls to eliminate immigrations and customs enforcement, or ICE. Texas Congressman Pat Fallon.
Kamala Harris wants the American people to forget it was the Biden-Harris administration, but she wants you to forget about the hyphen and the Harris. And we can't do that. And they only even discuss the border, David, when it's election season. So it'll be 4 more years and it'll get tremendously worse.
Brooke Taylor is in Dallas with more on the gang crisis. Brooke.
Harris, this recent story out of Dallas is just frightening. This woman was pulling into her garage when she says that 4 men with guns followed her in. They held her at gunpoint, tied her up, threatened her while they ransacked her home. Check out these suspects here, now all arrested and charged with aggravated robbery. Records show all 4 are from Venezuela and have ICE holds. Police identified Manuel Hernandez through fingerprints because he already had had a criminal history, including a DWI. Recently, he was stopped at a traffic light and arrested after not having a driver's license and registration. According to police, he was released just 1 day before the robbery.
So no license, no registration. Released the day before the robbery. Let that have been a black American citizen or just an American citizen, period. Listen, look, this is the facts. We know that we cannot ride around this country without proper registration, without our licenses, without fucking insurance out here.
So
What are we doing?
Toast is there to think about?
What are we doing? Let you ride down the street. Let you, as a natural born American citizen, drive your vehicle down any street and get pulled over, and you don't have your license, your registration, or your insurance on your motor vehicle. And find out how long they're going to keep your ass locked up out here.
He eventually led police to the other 3 suspects, including the so-called ringleader of the group, Wilmer Gonzalez. When police arrested him, it turned into an 8-hour intense standoff at an apartment complex in Irving. I spoke to a lot of neighbors there who said that it was just so unsafe, especially for their young children who live in that community. Neighbors shared videos with me of armed SWAT teams. And
how would they get in these apartments? I mean, hold on here. Let's go back just a sec. Oh, my bad. That looked like a pretty decent apartment complex. I mean, it doesn't look super run down. I get it. These are apartments, things like that, but it doesn't look super run down or anything like that, like how ghetto apartment buildings would look. So it looks like they're in a okay area. How are they getting? Well, we know how they're getting the amenities to live in these places and stuff like that. These people are getting so much government funding they don't even have to start out in the worst parts of the ghetto out here. They go straight to decent looking living situations. They go straight to decent looking living situations and post up and start their criminal activity. This is wild right here. Like I say, this don't look like a ghetto.
Neighbors there who said that it was just so unsafe, especially for their young children who live in that community. Neighbors shared videos with me of armed SWAT teams entering his apartment. The 4 Venezuelan migrants are accused of following that woman into her upscale Briarwood neighborhood home in Dallas. Police say they tied her up.
Okay, so it is upscale. Look around right here. There you go. We can clear. So they said it itself. It's an upscale neighborhood. Like I just said, yeah, it didn't look like a ghetto. So these individuals are getting hold to enough government funding to stay in upscale neighborhoods. They're doing better than black people.
So what the French toast is there to think about?
And then on top of that, they're doing crimes on top of that. Come on, man. These got to be those situations that Trump was talking about. Venezuelan was just releasing their prisoners and things like that.
They hit her with a gun, threatened her, and stole thousands of dollars in jewelry and money.
We welcome people who are not, who come here legally, but people who are not here illegal or are not coming in legally, we have to wonder about why they were able to get here in the first place and this far north. To me, it is the most important issue, perhaps even ahead of the economy.
And the issue not just here, but in San Antonio, a police raid involving multiple agencies ended up with the arrest of 16 people who have ICE holds and 4 confirmed TDA members. Harris.
Brooke, thank you very much. I want to bring in Republican Congressman Chip Roy from the great state of Texas now. You are up against it with these gangs. How do you fight this?
Well, Harris, thanks for having me on, and thanks for shining the light on this important issue, because it's really important for the people of our country and the migrants who are being abused at the hands of the Biden-Harris administration. My friend Pat Fallon is right. That hyphen exists. Kamala Harris is a part of this administration. She was dubbed the border czar. What we have in Texas right now are people getting hurt. You just went through the story in Irving. You alluded to the story in San Antonio this weekend. There were 20 people arrested in an apartment complex with a joint operation of law enforcement, local law enforcement, and ICE and Border Patrol. And 4 of those members were tied to the Tren De Aragua gang, TDA, from Venezuela. You have a situation in El Paso, right, where we just had stories coming out where you have migrants who were being forcibly put into effectively forced rape, prostitution rings to pay off the debts for people coming into our country. Again, affiliated with TDA. You might remember about a month ago, I flew to Colorado. I went and visited at the site where the apartment complex was in fact taken over by TDA. Now, what's the consistent thread here? This is all a direct result of Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, and Mayorkas's policies. They have been releasing Venezuelans under a program that you're well acquainted with, that Bill Malugin has been reporting about, right? Where they release Venezuelans, they release Cubans, they release Haitians, they release Nicaraguans, and they released 117,000 Venezuelans. We now know tens of thousands of them are criminals with backgrounds that show crime, murder. Now, here's the real exclamation point. You know Jocelyn Nungare, that beautiful 12-year-old girl who was murdered in Houston, Texas. She was murdered by somebody that we can now confirm, 2 individuals, one of whom are confirmed to have been a part of TDA. Her mom, Alexis, is a beautiful 27-year-old woman. And Colin Allred comes on and attacks Ted Cruz for politicizing this because Alexis joined Ted and President Trump to speak out about it. Shame on Colin. Shame on him. We need to make sure we send Ted Cruz back to the Senate. Shame on Kamala Harris for being MIA and going up and doing interviews with The View and going on Stephen Colbert while people are hurting in the southern part of our country from hurricanes and because of what they've done on our borders. And now we've got gangs in my district in San Antonio that are harming them, endangering them. We've got to fight back on November 5th and generally to take our state and our country back.
Man, yo.
And what the French toast is there to think about?
Ooh-wee. Are you hearing this here? This is common sense. Who is just going to want a bunch of rogue people coming into their states, their counties? They're interrupting their livelihood, doing all this type of egregious stuff. This is crazy out here. And then we want to sit here and act like we're blind to the situation of what's going on. I mean, I'm not blind. I clearly see it. And they're moving slowly but surely across the country. And they're organizing. Of course, they got their little cell phone stuff like that, so they can talk. Come on, people.
Real quickly, why can't we just deport TDA? Why hasn't that happened?
Well, we need to do that, and that's obviously what President Trump is rightly campaigning on, is having mass deportations of these criminals. It's not just TDA. There are rampant criminals. I was in upstate New York campaigning for my friend Mark Molinaro, talking about someone in his district who was from Peru, who was released, who had 23 murders in his background.
Ooh.
You know what will happen? November 5th, we have to get the right people in the White House, President Trump, the right people in the House, the right people in the Senate. And if we do that, then we need to do our job in mass deportations to make sure we can protect our country.
I
Thanks,
appreciate
Harris.
your time. Thank you so very much. We had a lot of breaking news. We'll bring you back.
Hey, everyone.
America first. Yes. Yes. America first. You know what I'm saying? We need our amenities at home. We need our structure rebuilt. Definitely, of course, you see what the hurricane's doing. It's we need to worry about us. We need to worry about us. And this is ridiculous right here. And we definitely need to kick these individuals out that have come over here illegally and things like that. And definitely, whatever. You come over here on these programs that they made up immediately to get people over here, fictitious programs. We already had programs in place to bring immigrants over here. But the vetting process was at least a year or two. So But what they're doing, they're just flying people over, automatically giving them, you know, a 2-year stay. And then you got to check back in after 2 years. No. I'm not for that. I'm not for that. You know, you just don't bring people in like that. You know, yo, it's crazy out here, but it is what it is, though, man. Shout out to all my subscribers. Mad love to y'all. If you're new to the channel, please hit that like, share, subscribe button. Make sure you ring that bell to be notified whenever I decide to post things. And like I always say,
and that, my friends, is the bottom line.
That, my friends, is the bottom line.